Hello everyone, my name is Jeremy Steiner and I'm here to inform you how mass media affects the youth's perception of themselves and the world around them. Beginning at a young age, we learn to look up to various celebrities, athletes, and famous figures, but fail to realize the ways in which mass media affect us on a daily basis. Teenagers are constantly persuaded by television, advertisements, and other forms of mass media that negatively influence their perceptions of masculinity, beauty, and ethical values. As a young man, the ability to outperform your peers in sports and various athletic competitions is an immense form of societal pressure. One of the most prolific ways that media affects teenagers is by leading teenage males to believe in impractical societal standards of masculinity. Movies, television, magazines, and various other forms advertisements portray to males that tangible standards of masculinity are tall, thin, and muscular build. Here, I have a picture of David Beckham, a famous soccer player who is clearly in very good shape, but for a young man, it's kind of an unrealistic goal to aspire towards, to look like David Beckham does. Many teenage males are still going through puberty, so their bodies are not fully developed. Comparing their bodies to those of adult models and athletes such as David Beckham is an unfair and unrealistic comparison and diminishes their confidence. The social standard of masculinity portrayed by the mass media causes teenage males to work out excessively, which many times leads to overexertion that can cause serious injury. And if they are not getting the results they desire, the likelihood of them using dangerous anabolic steroids or any other illegal substance increases tenfold. This is a serious concern because these substances can destroy a maturing teenager's body and lead to them developing lifelong health problems. In the article, How the Media Portray Men by Peter West, a study found that bodybuilders who aspired to decrease body fat and increase muscle mass had higher levels of body image disturbance than men who were just concerned with decreasing body fat or increasing muscle mass. It is important to note that the media has an influence on both male and female adolescents' perceptions of a positive body image and their gender identity. Today, media distorts the way that young adults perceive their bodies by continually raising expectations about the ways that men and women are supposed to appear. Celebrities appear in magazines as being perfect because of the technology used with editing techniques. Here we have the cover of a Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition, a woman who is very well built, and as we will come to find out, this picture has been highly edited. Many times, editors will combine body parts from various different people that exhibit attractive traits into a single super body. These computer-generated images cause people to view their own traits as distasteful or ugly. This constant illustration of perfection leads the general public to believe that in order to be attractive, individuals must be perfect and look like these computer-generated superbodies. However, these images of celebrities and models have been drastically altered, so it is important to look at it in that fashion. In the article, the impact of media on eating disorders in children and adolescents, written by Ann Morris and Deborah Katzman, a study is described that illustrates that nearly 7% of adolescent women have some form of eating disorder. These numbers are greatly increased for those women who spend more time watching TV or paying attention to mass media throughout the day. This shows that women who subject their sensory inputs to overly glamorized media are more likely to develop an eating disorder. The media not only influences how our youth believe they should look, it also influences how they think they should act. Media plays a hand in influencing a teenager's actions and decisions. Celebrities and the media are seen by many teenagers as role models, and the continual drug abuse frequently exhibited by celebrities demonstrates to teenagers that it is an acceptable way to celebrate or deal with issues. As an example, many young children and teenagers look up to celebrities such as Justin Bieber because his music was formerly directed to appeal to children and young adults. As he has aged, he seems to be trying to disassociate himself with his former wholesome image. He now sings explicit songs about abusing illegal substances and sexual promiscuity. Here is a picture of Justin Bieber after he was charged with driving under the influence. That shows that he is becoming more of a man and becoming what we don't want our youth to become. This illustrates how a celebrated role model can manipulate the younger generation to alter the way that they think. Similarly, violent movies and song lyrics have a substantial impact on the way that teenagers deal with aggression. These forms of media glorify aggression and violence, which desensitizes the youth and can lead them to behaving in an aggressive manner. Another reason for this aggressive behavior could be some of the video games that teenagers play now. Games like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto glorify gun violence and theft, sometimes leading teenagers to believe that these acts are socially acceptable. The article Media Violence, written by Joanne Cantor, discusses how children and teenagers who are subjected to violent media have a reduced emotional disturbance level while witnessing violence. They also exhibited increased hostility and feel less sympathy for a victim of a violent crime. This is extremely dangerous because it can cause these teenagers to act violently without thinking that there are consequences for their actions. In conclusion, the pressures that various forms of media place on teenagers to change their appearances and behavior can lead to depression. It's a trend that will likely continue for a very long time. It is likely that we will all continue to look up to celebrities, athletes, and models portrayed in the media. However, one might argue that it is important to be aware of the negative effects that media has on our generation and strive for individuality. Thank you.